Welcome to the Comical Engineers. Fun and facts with LCTS. We're kicking off episode 7 with a brand new guest, Jim Leffler, President and CEO of JCL Service Company. With more than 4 decades in the oil and gas industry, Jim takes us back to where it all began, from his early career at Occidental Petroleum to his leadership in safety and environmental compliance during the launch of the Clean Air Act. He also shares how real-world experiences, including the Piper Alpha fire, shaped his lifelong commitment to safety and what ultimately inspired his leap from corporate life to entrepreneurship. Let's dive in.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to a new episode of the Comical Engineers, Facts and Fun with LCTS, our podcast that we will put on our YouTube channel. We are also available on Spotify and Apple Podcast. So please do us a favor, subscribe to our channel or go to your favorite place where you listen to podcasts and subscribe there and like our content and share it with anybody else that you think might like to hear about it. As usual, I have my friend and co-host Stan Spears with me. Good morning, Stan.
Hey, good morning. Good morning to everybody that's listening. Glad to be on the podcast today. Today is Red Shirt Friday, so remember everybody that's deployed. So I am on the red shirt today. I remembered to do that. So everyone that's in working in the military force and deployed globally, especially those in harm's way, we want to keep them in our thoughts and prayers. So that's the thought for today. So I want to introduce to us our guest today, Jim Leffler, President and CEO of JCL Services Company. So, Jim, you've been impacting the projects in the heavy industry market for over 40 years, especially in the safety side of the business. So we just want to say a big thank you to you for being with us today, sharing your time. So thanks for joining the LCTS Comical Engineers podcast.
Great. Hey, Jim. Also, thank you from my side. We've known each other for a few years now, and I'm very happy to have you here and to talk to you. We want to get started with maybe a little bit of your background. I mean, how you started your career, maybe a few milestones on the way. And then we're especially interested to hear what was driving your decision to found your own companies and become an entrepreneur.
Well, Eberhard, thank you, and thank you for hosting and for inviting JCL Service Company and our associated companies to participate. It's an honor. So I've enjoyed our relationship over the years and helping our customers and clients in a satisfied manner. And it's quite a privilege to have the opportunity to be here this morning. So. I began my career, like you mentioned, over 40 years ago. I started with a major oil company with Occidental Petroleum, and the great foundation that it provided for me was I didn't really know anything about the oil field or anything about energy, or the only thing that I knew was when I was going to high school, it seemed like a lot of the kids in my high school, their moms and dads worked in the energy business, and gosh, they looked like that they were doing well, and everybody was happy, and so I thought, one of these days maybe I can go to work for an oil and gas or energy company. So that was kind of part of my interest there, and I ended up really I went to my background to get started was at Oklahoma State University with a fire protection and safety engineering technology background, and really kind of laid the foundation for the opportunities both in energy. Could have also gone into the fire protection or the fire service side of the business, but once again, kind of going back to my roots, I thought, you know what, I'd like to see what the energy business is like. So I started with Oxy and had a great opportunity to learn oil and gas on the exploration and production side. learned about gas processing, pipeline operations, onshore, offshore, domestic operations, international operations, shutdowns, turnarounds, both the equipment side of safety and the personnel side of safety. And so that really made up about the first 15 years of my career. I also was involved in refining and fractionation operations and, and those kinds of things. So it's really, I was very blessed to be, have a very diverse growth period there with Oxy. They asked me to move into a corporate role as the corporate safety manager for Occidental Oil and Gas for their worldwide operations. And I was successful in that category, if you will, for a few years. And then, one of those things, they call you in, they close the door, and they say, man, we'd like you to do what you did on the safety side, on the environmental side. So as it worked out, I kind of added another little epaulet on my other shoulder for the environmental side. And that was at the time of the Clean Air Act being inaugurated and Title V permitting and, all the things that, kind of went on with that. And so it really provided a great foundation and background. There, I guess, highlights for the oil and gas side for me. We had the opportunity to start one of the first CO2 flooding operations in an oil and gas field in southern Oklahoma. And it was great being on the front end of that, designing that, identifying the hazards and potential consequences and mitigating those and really having a very successful startup, a terrific increase in the production in the oil field where we installed the CO2 injection process. And so that I would say, along with starting up a 80,000 barrel a day fractionation plant in Mont Belvieu, that was a great experience from the startup phase to working through the equipment side of it, identifying some issues with electrical classification that really kind of set the project back a little bit, but it took care of some safety issues that need to be done. And I guess finally, maybe, I don't know that I necessarily call it a highlight, but an important event that occurred when I was with the oil company occurred on July 6th of 1988. I happen to remember that date vividly. It was about 6:15 in the evening. It was on a Saturday night, and I was in my backyard, and I was cooking some burgers for my wife and my two daughters, and I got a call from Oxy's company spokesperson, and I said, "Hey, yeah, Laura, what's going on?" Usually when a company spokesperson calls you about on something on Saturday night, that's not usually a very good thing. And it was at that time that Laura said, Jim, we have a fire on a platform in the North Sea, and it's our Piper Alpha platform. And Dr. Armin Hammer, who's the chairman, CEO, has some questions he wants answered. And I said, Laura, I'll be downtown in 20 minutes. And that began really a turning point for the way the energy was produced literally around the world. Because, from that standpoint, it really culminated in a different way to manage process safety, to be more methodical in our approaches of recognizing, evaluating, and controlling hazards in both the process and process industries literally around the world. And so that's probably kind of from an oil and gas standpoint, key events during that time. And then I received some news that we were going to move our headquarters out to California, and that didn't really fit with my family, and in terms of, the way I approach what I do is my faith is very important to me, and my family is very important to me, and that's number one, and that's number two, and then as far as I'm concerned, I'm third. So, but as we looked at potentially relocating out to California, we just decided, you know what, it's probably not a bad idea to kind of see what else is out there and what opportunities might be there. And lo and behold, I had 7 or 8 different things that just kind of popped up. And one of those that rose to the top was to join a group of very experienced professionals in a startup of a construction company.
That wraps up part 1 of episode 7 of the Comical Engineers, Fun and Facts with LCTS. A big thank you to our hosts, Eberhard Lucke and Stan Spears, for an insightful start to this conversation with Jim Leffler. From his beginnings at Oxy to navigating industry-defining moments, this segment set the stage for an inspiring journey. Don't miss part 2, where Jim dives deeper into leadership, relationships, and safety as a core value, and how faith and family guide his approach to business. And as always, follow, share, and subscribe so you never miss what's next. Until next time.